Turn it down. Turn it down, Kel. Turn it down. Oh my God. Turn it way down, actually. Put it on mute. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge. Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. User code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer and find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We're also in the Toyota Losers Lounge, not just a regular one. Toyota. Right, driven by your front range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets went full Colfax mode tonight. From start to finish, it was just a tour of Colfax mode as they get smoked. Almost in historic fashion, but not quite.
Really? Wow.
Well, actually, I don't know. I thought it was like 58.
I'm not sure what the actual...
No, somebody let us know. We stopped paying attention. I got Harrison Wind here.
Oh, man. This is going to be a tough show.
It's not, though. You don't think these losses...
I'm kind of already out of things to say, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know how deep we're going to go into the X's and O's on this one. I have a couple notes, but D-Line's here.
That's right, guys. Listen. Let me tell you guys a little something. In life, there are ups and there are downs. This was not an up.
I was going to say, this is a down, right?
This was a down.
What's worse than a down?
But, you know, I hate to be the one to be the old guy that have to remind you of the repeated patterns that the universe constantly gives us. But this happens. This happens. Forget the play.
A 50-point playoff loss?
Yes.
It happens.
It happened last year.
Actually, it happened last round.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on.
I haven't seen a Nuggets loss like this in the playoffs in a week.
I know.
Superstar Dev's here.
Nothing about that was fun. Nothing.
It really wasn't.
It was not. I don't think I smiled for the whole game. Man. Nothing about it was fun. It did not feel good, and I can't believe we had to experience that.
That's what it's honestly, maybe I'll save it for my big takeaway, but that really is the big feeling is you're just like, well, that was boring, man.
It was boring.
It wasn't even interesting.
It was boring after the first 5 minutes.
That's the worst part. It wasn't even like dejecting at a certain point. It was just like,
it was depressing.
There's nothing interesting that's going to happen here.
Just the shortest fast breakdown.
I was going to be like, what do you even have?
No, I haven't. I always stop taking notes when I can tell the game is over. So you guys tell me. Here we go. Fast breakdown. Thunder hot start.
Okay.
18-9.
Yeah, that was the story of the game.
I always put the score when I think it's like a turning point. That I was wrong. Trying to get Jamal going early, not working. Nuggets ice cold. 25-11. Kept getting worse. It was actually worse than that. They left CB wide open early on in this game, and he just was not hitting. And then the route was on 45-21 at the end of the first quarter. The game was over at that point. That's a 24-point deficit at the end of the first quarter. And you're like, all right, the only thing that can happen now is you start the second on a run, and now you just have to cut it to 10 by half or something. Nope. DJ came in, was playing drop and pick and roll. They just ran pick and roll, passed back to the screener on the pop, and got wide open threes for like 3 minutes.
Just over and over and over.
Did Denver throw this game?
They didn't throw it.
Is it possible?
Like, no, they didn't throw it, but like they didn't compete. They just didn't show up. Like they just
them running the pick and roll with DJ and drop and getting the same look over and over again. You're kind of like, that's gonna happen again. I bet I know what next play is.
The ball would go up and there would be 5 sets of Thunder hands going for the rebound and maybe one. It's like the guys weren't jumping. They weren't even trying.
Fast breakdown's not over.
Oh, sorry.
OKC franchise record 87 points in the first half. Now it's over.
Okay, cool.
That was it. Yeah,
good stuff.
I actually had the first quarter and 2 notes in the second quarter. That was it. All right, Red Hawk Roofing, big takeaways.
Couple nice drives from Hunter Tyson.
Superstar Dev, start us up.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway in that one was, I don't know if I've ever seen a game that had no silver linings. There was no silver linings in that game. Every single thing that could have possibly went bad in the game went bad.
Yep.
Nobody had a good game. There was not anything that you were excited about. It was not even about energy. I feel like a team just came out, punched them early, and then just shut the door for the entire night. I guess the only thing you could look at is I mean, they went into OKC, they won a game. You come back home, and you did exactly what it is that you wanted. So you just got to be ready for game 3.
Okay. You got to be ready.
Gotta be ready for game 3.
I love Red Hawk Roofing Big Takeaway. You got to be ready for Big 3. It is true. It is true. D-line.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. God, flush it. Flush it. The Nuggets went into Oklahoma City. They took 1 of 2. They have home court advantage on their side.
Yep.
They were dispirited early. They weren't physically tired. They were emotionally tired. That last game really, they expended a lot of emotional energy, and I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just telling you what happened. Like, they came out as flat as a pancake, and they got rolled. And OKC was desperate to, save face because the pods were talking against them the last several days. We know what that feels like. They came out with something to prove, and and I'm sure in their minds they proved it. But like, I'm not shaken by this. Like, I just saw this coming.
Our Red Hawk, we're going to be, usually Red Hawk Roofing's is segment 1. It's really going to be the first 3 minutes of segment 1 today. I was really hoping we'd spin some yarn on these takeaways. Harrison, go log on your big Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway here.
This is a big ask right now. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway, my initial Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is kind of like these guys said. It really just seemed like the Nuggets were happy with getting 1 game in OKC.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation I can really come up with for that effort that we saw tonight. Because that's one of the worst played games and the worst efforts I've ever seen from a team.
Yeah.
It just is. Like, that was pathetic. And that's what OKC can do to you if you're
That's exactly right.
not going to show up. Like, that's what it's going to look like. So, really, the only conclusion I can come to is that the Nuggets were totally good with just taking 1 game. And that was their mindset heading into today. And if that's in your head, that's what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what happened. Actually, I do have some notes on the officiating and how that's been trending these playoffs. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, like, there's definitely stuff to get into, but overarching, it's just like, you can really only look like that if you have it in your head that we're just cool with getting 1 here.
Wow.
And we're just going to get out with that. And look, it's okay because they did get 1, and that was the goal. But I really don't know how that happens if you're like really locked in and trying to win this game.
Yeah. And it sucks tonight a lot.
It actually doesn't suck that bad.
Just tonight.
Not even tonight for me. It's weird that blowout losses just don't hurt as bad as close ones. And this one was over. Like, I think I emotionally hit my nadir 2.5 hours ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was like end of first quarter. You were like, damn, tonight's going to be boring.
Oh, that's what I mean. I don't mean it like sucked like, I'm so mad. It's like, bro, what time is it?
Yeah.
Like,
There's still 10 minutes left in the third.
Sometimes I'll, like, after a real tough loss or something, maybe you raw dog at home. You just sit in the quiet.
I'm
just
raw dogging it home tonight for sure.
See, not
Not
for me.
me.
To
No,
me,
me
I'm like,
either.
put some music on. I might even kind of be moving. You know?
dude.
I'm
Just
raw dogging it.
because
I'm
look,
gonna listen to the funky music on my way home, dude.
Just a repeat of the funky music.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna something to clean up my diaper just a little bit.
my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. I had a dentist appointment today.
Oh,
Same.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
How'd yours go?
Well, it was quick. Cleaning. Get
See,
out of there.
I had a deep clean today. I had to do a deep clean. So painful. And I had a very ungentle hygienist. Very ungentle and kind of like stern, almost like, come on. It's not that bad. I was like, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. Should I not
Suck
give you
the air right
Should
now.
I not give you the signal that this is a little, whatever. It's really intense. Not the worst part of my day.
no.
It got worse.
Maybe the highlight of my day, actually, to be honest with you. Nah, this sucked. I think Wind is right. They approached this game, and I don't think it's a mental thing, like they came into it like, guys, we won one. Let's just take it out. I don't think it's like that. But you can't fake desperation.
Yeah.
You can't fake, like excitement or any of those things. And I think tonight was insanely physical, especially on Denver's end of the floor early on. Like, it was just a very, very physical game. And I think Denver kind of got pushed around a little bit and was like, yeah, man, it's not stirring that emotion in me. Whereas they had this desperation of, if we
Exactly.
lose tonight, this series is over.
Exactly.
So we have to come out, we have to make a statement, we have to show them and all this stuff. And I thought Denver, a couple things happened very early that were noteworthy. They tried to get Jamal Murray going, and he just missed. He just made some bad plays, and I think it was a little bit like they're punching hard. Murray can't get it going. And then they left CB wide open in the corner early on, and he had all these good looks, and he was both hesitant to shoot and missed them all. And I think Denver looked around and was like, all right, is there emotional resonance there for them to kind of pick it up? And I hate it. This is not an excuse. You can get away with this. I mean, maybe you can get away with this right now, where you just kind of lose a game and you save some emotional energy, probably some physical energy as well, and you bring it back to Denver 1-1. That was the stated goal. So they accomplished it. I don't think Denver went in there thinking we're going to go 2-0. It's like, you know what? If we can get a split, we'll like it, and they got it. But that was my takeaway, is that the Nuggets very early on walked out there to be like, hey, do we have it tonight? They didn't, and there just wasn't a response. There was no there was no galvanizing moment. Shout out Russell Westbrook. I thought he tried. He came into that game and injected some life, but he almost looked out of place because he's running
He's the
around
only one doing it.
and everyone else is kind of like, damn.
bro, you're making us look bad.
You're a tryhard.
Dude.
But
said,
totally,
what?
man. Like OKC was desperate, and they played like it. Like they had to win this game, and like they were going to. That was their mindset, and they played great. They brought it, and the Nuggets were just like playing under a mentality of like, all right, cool. Yeah.
And the Nuggets have this in them. I mean, the Nuggets are a weird team, and that their best is best. Like, you remember Yoke had the line, like, we can beat anyone and we can lose into anyone. Literally, that's true. And I think it's true. Denver can beat anyone. And the last game showed you why. Their ability to just fight for 48 minutes and find something with 2 seconds left where that gives them a lead. They can do that. But they can also lose by 50. And they are especially good at that.
They can get blown out in the playoffs. Absolutely.
Well, it's happened now 3 series in a row for Denver. 3 in a row. Minnesota, the Clippers, and now this one where they have at least one. And the Minnesota one, it was multiple, but at least one 35-point loss. It comes here, so it's a streak. Denver
We're going streaking.
We're going streaking. Denver's weird in that their point differential is never good. And this is one reason people count them out, and I think it's because of this. Their point differential in the series right now, minus 46 or something. Minus 51. Series tied 1-1, though. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
That is really all that matters. I mean, nobody cares about point differentials at the end of the series. But
Denver had a negative point differential, I think, in the last one.
the pressure, I do think, shifts back to the Nuggets now.
You think so?
I do think so. And it's just...
Not even.
No, I don't think it's even. I think it is on Denver now. And it's because of how this game went. I mean, it was such a statement that I feel like if the Nuggets don't look good in this game 3, like they're probably in trouble. So I do feel like the pressure is back on the Nuggets, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe for this team and just how they trend, maybe it's a good thing to have the pressure on and be like, you guys have to play one game 3, or else this is a real serious. You're in trouble.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I do think that it's, I would say, a good thing because it puts pressure back on you where you have to play how you played in game 1. Like, if you're not playing to that level, you're going to get blown out. And when you get whooped the way that they got whooped tonight, like, you have to look within. You have to say, like, we did not have it, and they're going to try to do that to us again. So you really do have to go back to the drawing board and say, what did we do in game 1 that was different this game? It's energy. It's playing hard.
Yeah.
It's, the X's and O's and following the game plan. Because if you don't, you get blown out. It wasn't just a close loss. It just wasn't like, they were out there going through the motions. They were ready for that game to end so much longer, and that's embarrassing. You don't want to get that into your in front of your home crowd. It's embarrassing doing that on the road. So really, you have to go to that and say, we have to play together if we want to have a chance in this one.
Yeah.
Who has the pressure?
I mean, it's kind of it's a weird spot. Like, I mean, the Nuggets are the team that everybody's looking at as the true underdogs of the series. So in that way, I think they had the pressure. I don't know if they necessarily feel like that because, again, this is they've been here before. They've
been through so many.
They've been here
literally
a lot.
here.
Yes, and I don't think that they're necessarily. I think that they are probably pretty adept at flushing a game like this and kind of moving forward. To me, it's kind of like, all tied. Like, it's both teams have the same amount of pressure. It just comes into Now who's going to make the next adjustment? And I fully expect the Nuggets to come out and give a much more spirited effort in the next game than they did this game. It was like you could just see it earlier. They just did not have it, and they weren't willing to
fight to get it. Yeah,
they weren't willing to go to the places to find the gritty
that's
baskets.
Exactly
it was just like
they didn't want to.
They didn't want. I mean, they wanted it, but it's like,
they kind of didn't though. Early on, man, there was a lot of not fighting for this. They were getting rebounds. They were getting like to the rim. They just were getting stuff that you're kind of like, that doesn't look very hard. Like you're going to the end of the world to get this. I'll say this. This whole playoff run is about waking the beast. Beast hit the snooze button tonight.
Yeah.
The Beast was not awoke.
Leave the Beast alone, dude. He has a big day tomorrow.
Alarm clock?
The Beast called in sick, man. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do a bed day. I'm going to have a little bed day.
A little mental health day for the
how
Beast.
good a little bed day is? When you have a TV in your room, you get a little bed day.
Dude, I kind of want to do a bed day right now.
I can't wait till like June or July or
Do you
something.
guys want to just
day.
tell each other our secrets right now instead of talking about the
You want
Nuggets?
to do that?
Sure.
Just
No,
kick our feet up.
listen.
All right. After these messages, stay tuned.
Really excited to have this new partner on board. It's First Bank, whether on the road or at home or somewhere in between.
Unofficial Bank of Colorado.
First Bank makes banking easy, convenient, and secure. Their mobile banking app allows you to check balances, pay friends, and manage your money anywhere. And here's the best part. Open a new First Bank checking account today. You could earn $300. $300 with First Bank. First Bank is all about helping you stay on track. Their tools make it simple to stay in control of your finances without the hassle. No matter where life takes you, First Bank gives you the freedom to bank how and when it works best for you. So if you're ready for better banking and the chance to earn a little extra, $300 extra,
Dude,
head
that's not a
to
little.
efirstbank.com/bonus. That's efirstbank.com/bonus. Open your account, bank how you want, when you want with First Bank. Certain restrictions and requirements apply. Member FDIC. Again, open a new First Bank checking account today. You could earn $300. $300 you could earn with First Bank. efirstbank.com/bonus. Also, shout out to Red Hawk Roofing, Denver's best roofers. They are part of the DNVR team. I know Red Hawk brought it tonight.
Oh,
The Nuggets did not. I do know that Red Hawk did.
yeah, like
Wherever they were watching from, wherever they were, I know they were locked in.
I know we're gonna give you their phone number and their email address, but like, if you're gonna call them tomorrow, give them some time. Don't call them right off the bat.
They will probably take this loss a little tough.
They might be having a bed day. You know.
But if you do need them, they'll be there.
They do, yes.
They will be there. 720-771-8921. Tell them DNVR sent you. RedHawkRoofing.com. Free no obligation roofing property inspections. Free in-depth photo reports for all inspections as well. 720-771-8921. RedHawkRoofing.com. They're the best at what they do. Give them your business if you need any roofing repairs, a new roof, home business, whatever it might be. Red Hawk Roofing.
First Bank and Red Hawk in the first block, man. That's a great ad break day.
It is a good one, dude.
It's a really good ad break day, man.
Silver linings coming through the ad partners.
Let's just talk about the ad breaks now. So, I want to talk about the big story that, this game, people, when the game is so boring, the Twitter discourse, which I kind of don't participate
You've been on
much.
the Twitter, dude?
I was at the Twitter. But everybody was mad that Adelman left the guys in for so long. It didn't actually bother me. These guys are NBA players, man. I think sometimes we treat the NBA players like they're us.
I know.
It's like, dude, I wouldn't want to run for 30 minutes.
They're like, they're like, don't play him in the second half. He'll have to take a week off work.
Yoke, when he was asked about this after like game 4 or whatever, he was literally like, is it really hard though, guys? We're playing every 2 days for 2 hours. Tonight, I do think there was something to you throw in the towel too early. You almost concede to something to the players. They weren't going to win that game, but there's almost like all right, guys, get on in here. I kind of like the Adelman's like, no, play through, figure some stuff out, like work on some stuff. I just didn't mind it. And it's not like they played that much. I mean, 2 guys played into the 30s. Everybody else was in the 20s.
Well, that's because Yoke fouled out in the third.
I mean, he was coming out anyway. That was Adelman wasn't really going to play him forever. But were you bothered by this, Dev?
No, I wasn't bothered at all because, going into the next game, you want them to play hard. You want them to get it going. They did not have anything going on, and you want them to start playing as a team to figure out, okay, physicality was the biggest change. Like now you need to go and play hard. Now you need to be mad. And I don't think that they had that. So I wouldn't be mad at that. I wanted them to continue to play. I have to get mine.
When were you upset?
I was a little.
You were heated?
I'm not gonna say heated. I was a little like confused by it. I mean, look, I totally get the thing about like, yeah, they're professionals. Like it's not like they're like being asked too much to play the third quarter of a blowout. Like that's not it. It's just I was like, I hope nobody gets injured and they're out for the rest of the series. And I also didn't think there was really anything left to accomplish. I mean, you're already down 40. You left the game down 40. I don't think anything really changed if you would have just not played them in the second half.
You're just thinking logically, but I think it's more mentality. It's just the mentality of like, we battle. Like, oh, we're down. You know, this team is so good.
We battled?
Well, I'm saying you leave them out there to battle is what you say. Like, this team really is good at not dying, you know, and staying alive. And I know this one was hopeless, but I don't like the idea of like, I think Dagnott might have done this. You know, he might have been like, hold on, statistically, I don't think we have a chance if we do this, so I'm going to blow it. It's like, no, you just go out there. You guys are not getting out of this game till third quarter. I mean, again, Jamal played 31, Yoke 32,
But
Michael Porter
it's not
25.
about the minutes. It's just like I mean, I see what you're saying about like the fight and you just don't want to like concede and just give up.
This is who we are. We don't quit.
I don't think that carries over to like the next game or anything. That's just me though. I mean, it probably doesn't matter. But
maybe it was one of them to bake in it. You know, like it was like Yoke was frustrated at the end of the game, and maybe that's what you wanted. I mean, we saw Woody Page had that great anecdote on the timeline tonight where he was saying Doug Moe, they lost by 46 points in a game one time, and he asked him after the game, like, "Are you pissed?" And he goes, "No." Or he said something to the effect of like, no, all those guys are going to be pissed about it, so this is a good outcome. They're going to be mad, and we'll win the next one because everybody's pissed, and they did. And I do feel like there's a little bit of that. Yoke looked pissed in that third quarter. Good.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he doesn't sleep well tonight, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, that should make you mad, especially when the team is knocking down shots. When you're up 30, 40, you're celebrating as a team.
Well,
you do need to sit in that to say, like, that team, they're like, they responded. You knocked down a buzzer beater, and you got to celebrate. You got to pop your stuff. Now they're up big. You want to rally like the troops. You want somebody to be pissed off to where they say that won't happen again. So I do think that the message is like they figured you guys out. Now you need to fight back, like punch back.
would it not have pissed them off more if they just didn't play though?
I don't think so. I think Yoke was clearly pissed towards the end of his stint there. He picked up like 3 fouls in a row.
Yeah. Plus,
And they were like kind of playing elbow and asshole basketball.
that's the thing is that like they were getting some shots in.
Yeah.
Like they were getting some shots in. I didn't mind that they didn't pull them out either, just because like
They're grown men, professional athletes.
I get every argument, but I was just like, you know what? I don't know. I want to see something that at least maybe has some effort or some effect that can last into the next game, like seeing Michael Porter Jr. hit a 3, seeing something here, there, whatever.
All right, two adjustments in this game that I think stand out to me off rip. First, Denver zone. OKC very prepared for it this time around.
Yeah.
I mean, they ran a couple of very specific deliberate actions. Denver stuck with it for a long time, which is part of why I feel like I don't think they threw this game, but I don't think they
kind of.
When we talked about showing cards, I don't think Denver was like, all right, we got to play a new card.
Well,
tonight.
yeah, you definitely don't want to show any cards down 30 also.
But I'm saying even at the first quarter, I don't
sure.
think they were like, all right, we'll stop there.
He's
Just
just
kind of
like, do I play the Z card now?
I know.
Oh, I gotta play it.
I mean, it is possible they just have no cards. I mean, it's not like they have the most players to kind of mix it out. But no, so I think that part of it, the zone, like Denver just stuck with it for a long time, and they kept getting wide open threes out of it. And then the other one was they seemed to be give a concerted effort to leave Christian open early in this game. It's similar to what Denver did with Chris Dunn, you know, where it's not even a matter of, we think he'll never make a 3, although sometimes he won't, and tonight he didn't. But it might just be because when Yoke's out there and your first group is out there, you don't want to just have Christian Brown open 3s every possession. Even if you hit him, it's not like you're getting a flow. So those were two things that I thought that stood out to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, leaving Christian open was definitely a point of emphasis for them. And he shot those. He should shoot them. I mean, he's got to take those shots. He's a good enough shooter. He's a better shooter than Chris Dunn, you know, I think at least.
Yeah.
So he should take those shots. He was 1 of 4 from 3. Like, that was definitely a big takeaway from the first quarter. And I mean, look, like, that's what the Nuggets should expect the rest of the series. You know, leaving Christian open. Aaron's a guy that, you know, you have to guard at this point from 3.
Yeah.
Christian's the obvious guy to leave open in just the starting lineup. So it's something we should see more going forward. And yeah, that was definitely a big takeaway from the first quarter.
Yeah, the big adjustment, and it's the same thing, but last game, Jokic and Aaron Gordon was such a force inside that's how they got on the other end of the loss, because they were in foul trouble because they couldn't stop them, but also they scored so easily. Denver scored every time down because it was just them inside the paint. Now they built a wall and sent the double that it was like, Christian, if you beat us, you beat us. Like, it's okay. Like, we're going to allow you to shoot. And Christian Brown then looks like Chris Dunn because he's now missing every shot. He's in his own head. He's not taking the same confident shots. But also now when you're forcing it to Christian, that takes the ball out of Jokic's hand. That takes the ball out of AG's hand. So that played into their hand, especially when he's not knocking them down. And then now you're down so much. So you still have to be aggressive. You still have to try to get inside. But also Christian has to knock down them shots. You don't expect him to just continue to miss shot after shot, or they're going to have to adjust. So I do think that was an adjustment that they made. It worked tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in general, like the Nuggets had nowhere to go inside. Like the OKC was packing the paint so much. Mm-hmm. And even when the Nuggets were driving in, there were so many times where it was like there were 3 or 4 hands contesting.
They threw a lot of bodies.
And so they would just like, even getting in deep, they would kick it right back out, which is fine. Drive and kick is a great strategy in the NBA, but not if none of your shots go in.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to, Jamal has to hit, MPJ has to hit.
54%, 54 points in the paint in game 1 for the Nuggets, just 28 tonight. I mean, a really, really, really low number for a Denver team. And I mean, I don't think that's by accident. And you are right. It does say that the one texture of the series now is going to be making open shots. It's going to be hard enough to get them. But the other thing about packing the paint and giving up open shots is you also can compete for the rebounds. Denver dominated the boards. Well, let's throw an extra body in there. Let's dare them to shoot. They're going to have to be a lot better there. But I actually think the number one thing about this game was just the physicality. Denver did not have it in them tonight to battle physically with the energy and intensity that OKC came with. I mean, they are a young team, but I didn't know. I talked about Chet and I talked about all these guys. They kind of got bullied, pushed on the rim, all this stuff. They came out, man, George Karl, he used to call it that elbow and asshole basketball. That's what it was tonight. It just was physical. We're going to try to hit you. We're going to try to do all this stuff. And even Yoke, who had a very weird night, even he was like really bothered by it. It was like he didn't want to battle it tonight either.
No.
Yeah.
No, none of the Nuggets wanted it tonight.
I mean, there's so much physicality allowed right now. And I mean, if they're not going to call those fouls, you got to be physical. I mean, that is the way to beat the Nuggets and really rattle them. And this was another takeaway I had tonight about the officiating. And it wasn't even like just today. I'm just talking like playoffs as a whole. You're allowed to get away with so much against Nikola Jokic. And this was very apparent in the Clippers series. He was very frustrated by it then. It's already been apparent in this series. When you're small and you're going against a big like Nikola Jokic, you can put 2 hands on him. You can tug his jersey. You can hit him in the back. And they just don't call it.
Yeah.
And I totally get in the playoffs, you let more stuff go. But it is just such an easy strategy for teams right now. And if this is what the officiating is going to be for the playoffs, it seems like it's kind of been ramped up to a way higher degree than it even has in years past. Especially smalls are able to be so physical with him. It's kind of crazy, I think.
But that Clippers series, to me, you made the joke about how in the NBA refereeing is whoever's down gets a little extra.
Gets the blue shell.
The blue shell. I think because in that Clippers series, we kept doing this. Game 3, they were the aggressor. They set the tone defensively, so they were allowed to get away with whatever. Next game, Denver comes back. Denver set the tone, so they got away with whatever. Tonight was totally they set the tone. They came out more aggressive, and they got away with murder tonight. And Denver was on their heels and was not.
But I'm just talking specifically about small guys against Yoke.
That's always been the case, though.
It seems like it's way. to a higher degree in these playoffs, though, than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And it's just such a clear strategy that, I mean, I don't want to dwell on it, but like, it seems like Jokic is really frustrated. Like, would you agree he's been really frustrated by the lack of the foul calls that he usually gets that he's not getting in these playoffs?
Yeah, but he's also throwing some bows, lately.
Because he has to. He grifted almost a 3-shot foul last game because that's the only way he can get a call.
Yeah, but I'm saying on the plays in between, he's also doing, it's a little bit of extra of this stuff in the.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that they're getting away with things in the playoffs. They're not calling it as tight. They're letting you get away with murder, and I think that it's the advantage. I do think that you guys are both right. I think that people know that you're allowed to beat up on Jokic right now.
Yeah.
Jokic also
if
knows,
you're a Caruso, man, you're not going to get a foul.
Going to
It's just
attack him
insane.
every single time, and he's getting frustrated. He's also delivering some that he's getting away with as well. But I just feel like that's the playoffs. You have to come out with that mentality of we are going to deliver, and we're not going to just allow you to just continue to hit us. And then the last game, they got punched, and they punched again. This game, they just kept getting punched. They went into the fetal position.
Yeah. All right, let's take another break. On the other side, we wrap this up by talking about what we expect in Game 3, what has to happen in Game 3, and what that game was going to represent. We'll do that on the other side.
Shout out to Toyota. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. And look, Toyota's got everything. If you live in Colorado, if you live really anywhere that you're listening to the show, Toyota, they have a vehicle for you. They've got trucks, they've got cars, they've got SUVs. You're conquering, off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world. There's a Toyota truck that's just right for you. Check out the all-new 2024 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser as well. They've got 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner. They also offer more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker, giving customers numerous choices to reduce their carbon footprint. 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max Hybrid. Visit your Front Range Toyota store at a location near your AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East and Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West and Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. Also, shout out to Bet365, now an official partner of the Denver Nuggets and Colorado Avalanche. Did we win any bets tonight? I'm going to guess no.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, did we
Sorry, I
take
brought it
only unders on everything? Because otherwise we did not hit anything.
My bad.
Did Jokic get his 50-point rebound?
Is fouls part of it?
Yeah. Bet365, they deserve to get one on us. Like, we've gotten
Bro,
a lot on them
I've been
this
stealing
season.
from him lately.
Good game,
This is one for Bet365
We'll get it back in
tonight.
blood.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
They needed one, and they got one tonight. Bet365, you can open an account, use code DNVR365. You can hit that QR code right there on the screen. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. You can sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Man, I've enjoyed this rain lately.
Have you?
I love rain, man.
sort of
You
a
know I
dark
love
soul,
rain.
you know?
No. It's not dark. It's beautiful. It gives life. Like rain
But that's
is
what a
bringing
dark
life.
soul would say.
No, it's bringing life to the grass. All the colors come out.
No, but we all like
the birds
grass.
sit under.
See, we like
the little
the grass.
trees.
You like
know?
the dark part that brings out the light.
Do you guys like rain?
Sure.
I like rain.
I like rain.
I'm good for some rain.
Oh, see, it's great. Rain is phenomenal,
Oh
man.
yeah, Harrison and Deb.
We've
the
had
two-
a
the two brightest
great little
lights on
rain. I
Earth.
guarantee Kale's a Rainman. I know he
Okay,
is. Come on,
Kale's the
Kale's,
one.
come on. Yeah, you're a snow guy.
I mean, my favorite season is summer, but I do like rain.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this time of year, there's just something about. I got a little bunny in my yard,
Oh,
like a little baby bunny, because we have the big bunnies. But
Okay.
we're out of stuff to talk about. I don't know if you want me to go here. No, let's talk about Game 3. So now you say the pressure comes back. I mean, I get it. Game 3, though, does become an important one, I think, for both teams. Denver does have that weird 36-hour turnaround, or both teams with 36-hour turnaround, which I would think favors the younger team, but you never know. But Friday night, home crowd on a Friday. It's going to be popping at Ball Arena. They have to respond, and they have to respond early. They've been in the spot a lot, though, and I just feel like they will, Dev. Tell me about the importance of this game.
I mean, it really does mean everything because, like, whoever loses that one backs against the wall. Like, it puts a lot of pressure on either team. If the Nuggets lose at home, they now go back into, like, not in the driver's seat. Right now, they are still in the driver's seat despite just getting blown out like that. But you'll feel good again if they win at home, especially with a second home game, 36 hours after that. So this is an important spot, but also it's how they play. Yeah. You want them to punch early. You want them to, like, try to lead throughout the entire game where it doesn't have to come back to you having to, crawl out of a victory. You'll take it that way, but you want them to just say that last game didn't matter. Like, we kind of punted on it, but you're in our home territory. We're going to run you out the building. We're going to also be very physical. I think that's what it is. So I still believe that it's the physical team that wins. And that happened in this game. I don't think it was just like the Nuggets were tired. A team decided to, like, say, we're going to put our foot down. We're going to, make you guys work for it, and we're going to see if you roll over. Nuggets rolled over in this one. Whoever punches first in game 3, I think they win the game.
Yeah, I mean, Nuggets lost game 3 last series.
Yeah,
that sucks. You don't want to go down 2-1. It doesn't mean everything, but it would certainly help the feeling that we all have right now. It would be, and again against a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who they don't know their own limitations yet, and we don't know their own limitations either. To be fair, like, they could be this team. They could also be the team we saw in the first game that totally crumbled when the pressure got to them. I tend to think, I mean, this next one matters, but it's like,
it's a long series.
It's a long series. They can't lose both of, like,
you can't lose by 40 again,
and you can't lose both games at home. Like, you just need you need a game at home. You need to take it, and then you need to, like, really start to. Hopefully, at that point, you're starting to really figure it out. The Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, they figured out nothing against them tonight. There's nothing to be taken from tonight's game, but there is still a lot to learn, and there's still a lot to go forward. So hopefully they can learn in a win. But we'll see.
I said coming into the series, and this is where I've been with the Nuggets. I know you're fully in, and believing that they're there. I needed to see them get to 2-2. Because I was like, if they can get to 2-2, I think the Nuggets will be able, that 3-game series, and I like the Nuggets when backs against the wall. So I still agree with you, actually, in that if they lost game 3, I wouldn't feel like it's over. But I will say that I think of the two, that the game 3 is going to be easier to win than game 4. Game 4, just with the 36-hour turnaround, the midday start time, it just feels like an absurd thing.
It is kind of crazy.
It's absurd for both teams.
I just think knowing this Nuggets team, what they've been through, the battles, the wars, who is out there on the court, you've got to think they respond in a huge way. Like, you've got to think if this team has anything left, like if this era has anything left, they will respond in a massive way in game 3 and, like, have an absolute, like, statement half in that first half of game 3. Like, if these guys are still who we think they might be, that's what will happen.
The only pushback I'll have to this, and I think last year's team is more like what the Nuggets were for the first 79 games. I really do believe that something changed, although the injuries are starting to pile up in a concerning way. We'll get to that in a second. But last year they lost game 1 at home to Minnesota, 99-106. And then lost game 2 by 26 points. They got blown out.
That was the one that Gobert didn't play in, right?
Gobert didn't play, and you could maybe say it was a little funkiness or what have you. And then, of course, they bounced back, won 3 in a row. But I only say that to say I'm not 100% sure Denver's going to bounce back in game 3. You know, like,
I'm not 100% sure either. I'm just saying, like, if these are still these guys, like if these guys still have it, if they still have that magic thing, that special sauce, they will bounce back.
We talk about biggest areas of concern right now. I think for me with Denver, my number one is Jamal Murray. He doesn't look like a special player, and you see how hard it is to win. Like, you have to be so heroic, and somebody else has to step up. So Jamal Murray, I'm just waiting for a couple more. I just need a couple good game, like really good games strung together. And then my second one would be the fact that Michael Porter's kind of looks like he's not going to contribute the rest of the way. I mean, those would be my two biggest concerns.
Your number 2 player not being, Robin.
Yeah.
That becomes a concern because they're built around Jokic and Jamal, like having your point guard that's a score first point guard that has these brilliant games in the playoffs, and now he looks like everyone else. I think that's a shock, because you're like waiting for him throughout the whole year because you're like, you don't got to worry about it. We have Jamal in the playoffs. Jamal doesn't look like Jamal in the playoffs. No. Then your third player being like literally one of the worst players. He's been the worst player in this series right now. Michael Porter Jr. has. That's your third best player, a guy that you rely on for spacing and gravity and opening up the floor. And he's just non-existent right now, and he's playing, minutes. That just doesn't make you feel confident. Those two things just step out, but also another thing that steps out for me is they looked like the team that you've seen just give up. They put up 149 points on them.
Yeah.
That is so many points in the playoffs. And I know that you you rolled over in that game, but you can't allow a team to feel that confident where they're going to try to blow you out in that fashion and not respond. Westbrook was the only one that was mad at any point throughout this game. He's the only one that got chippy. If you're losing by 40 points, somebody has to be pissed off. So if you put all three of those things together, there is no confidence in saying they're going to be ready game 3. You really do have to go out and play a flawless game if you want to get back in this one. But yeah, those things stand out for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in a place where I'm like, man, our backs are getting this game was terrible, but just pretend they lost by 5, whatever. It's
but specifically because I kind of went away from it. Jamal, right now, does that bring you confidence?
No, nobody brought me confidence tonight. Nobody looked good tonight. Jamal, they wanted to get him going. He missed a couple shots, and then it was.
He also got attacked on defense, and he had turnovers.
Totally.
That first quarter it wasn't even the first quarter. Everybody sucked by the end of the first quarter. It was the first 4 minutes. It was just very Jamal centric, and it was not good.
Yeah. But then you take any other 5 minutes, there's some other player, including Jokic, had just as many follies in a row. I mean, it sucked, but I don't think that it's emblematic of who he is as a player or what we can expect from him.
Then just grade him on this playoffs. Where do you think he is at?
Well, I thought he was good in the first series. I thought he's been not that great in these first 2 games. I think that they are pretty specifically geared to stop Jamal. They've got a really rangy, all of their point of attack defense is really good. Casey Wallace is shading him. It's going to be tough for Jamal. I don't see him. We were talking about this before, yesterday. I was saying I don't see him having a great series, but I can see him averaging 20, his season average, and it being enough because we had get enough from other guys.
Can he win them a game in this series? Because everybody plays well, but he plays great.
Apparently, I'm such a Jamal fanboy that I'm unwatchable. What a dipshit. Cool comment. Anyway, the thing is he had a game where he scored 42 points this is the thing. This is the up and down of the playoffs.
True.
This is never too high, never too low. This feels incredibly low, but it's a lot.
There's just no carryover, is your point. Because game 1 was a great game. Denver comes back. Game 2 is a blood. It's and this is one of the things I really love about Adelman's messaging is this exact point of every game is its own story. They all come together as an anthology that we call a series, but every single one is its own individual story, and you just never know what you're going to get. This one was a butt whooping.
Yeah. I think Jamal was good against the Clippers. He was great in one game. Yeah. I think he's been bad in these 2 games so far. I'm coming from the thinking of they need a better Jamal Murray if they're going to win a championship. He to me has been the same guy that he was in the regular season so far.
Yeah.
In these playoffs, he's been the same guy, and they need him to just raise his game a level. I don't think they need him to play at 2023 championship levels because that'd be great. If he does do that, then maybe the Nuggets can go 16-4 again. But if he can just raise it one level, I think they can still make a run. Porter, to me, honestly, might be the slightly bigger concern.
Yeah, because his doesn't look like heart or any of that. It looks like he literally can't move.
He just can't do anything. He's playing with 3 limbs. He can't use his right arm or his left arm. Sorry, it feels like it's kind of getting worse by the game, and he's one of your real guys. He only played 25 minutes in this game. In game 1, he played 24 minutes, so his minutes are already down. And that's the right call. He's just not effective out there. And I mean, I just wonder if this is a spot where you really don't have a choice but to just play Peyton Watson way more of those minutes.
Yeah. That part of this is crazy. Maybe Peyton Watson has it though a little bit. It also is a bit of a curveball. So I'll be curious. You come home, maybe your role players get a little bit more. I will say this: Jamal Murray scored 30 points 11 times this year. That's roughly 1 out of every 7 or so, and he has won so far in 9 playoff games. So it is. You're right. It is almost exactly the rhythm of his regular season in terms of when he has great games. Every 7-8 games or so, he'll have 1, and that's a bit of a bummer. Any other final thoughts? We got to take our last break here. On the other side, we'll do some super chats. We'll do a quick ATA, and we'll hopefully get Vogt.
We do. Vogt. Yeah. All right. We will go to him after this break. Shout out to Breckenridge Distillery. Breckenridge Distillery, their bourbon whiskey. It's the official bourbon and vodka of the Denver Broncos, actually. You can check out their 2024 Broncos bourbon blends. Those are in shelves. Breck Distillery is the world's highest distillery in terms of elevation. Founded in 2008, they're most widely known for their blended bourbon whiskey, a high rye mash, American-style whiskey. Breckenridge Bourbon, one of the most highly awarded craft bourbons in the entire United States. And I can back that up too. I've had Breck Distillery. I've got a couple bottles at home. Great bourbon, great whiskey, really good stuff. You can go up to their distillery. You can also order. Use code DNVR at checkout for free shipping on all orders over $99. Learn more at BreckenridgeDistillery.com. They also have an award-winning restaurant up there. Show-stopping cocktails. Learn about their highly awarded spirits and an in-depth tasting. Get an inside look at their active production facility as well. That's up at the world's highest distillery, Breckenridge Distillery. Use the code DNVR at checkout for free shipping on all orders over $99. Also, shout out to Shady Rays. ShadyRays.com. Use the code DNVR. Get 35% off polarized sunglasses. Rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. You just go to ShadyRays.com, browse their selection. They have so many different styles, so many different colors, shapes, whatever type of sunglass you wear. Shady Rays, they've got you covered. And pick up some pairs for summer. You know, it's just going to get hotter here in Denver and Colorado if you're local. Perfect time to stock up on some more Shady Rays. Hundreds of options to choose from. They probably have a style, a color that you like. If your shades ever go missing, take an unexpected hit, they have the most insane protection of eyewear. Every pair is backed by their lost or broken replacement guarantee. Use the code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses at ShadyRays.com.
All righty.
Kind of.
Presented by Bet365. I guess we can't say anything at the moment. Presented by Bet365. Vogt! How did that go for you?
Oh, man. Honestly, how'd it go for you guys? You were on a watch along. I was just sitting in a box. Like that
We
was
were just bored, honestly. It was just, I would say
boredom.
my number one feeling was boredom.
I agree because I very quickly came to terms with this game looking the way I did think at least one of these two games would look. And it's certain, game 1 was about not letting go of the rope. Game 2 was about never having the rope to begin with. Adelman said pregame, you take a lot of punches against this team. It's not just their starters, but how deep they are. So even into the next sub, the first rotation, you're ready to take more punches. And he said before the game, I think the first 18 minutes are so important against a team like this. Fellas, 15 minutes in, around 27, and it did not look like it was going to get better. And as we know, it didn't. So some unfortunately prescient analysis there from David Adelman. And this was a punking and a thumping, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
We spoke. Oh, before I get into this, Stan Kroenke was here again. I was not surprised to see him at all in LA. And to be clear, I am saying Stan, not Josh, but he was here again. And he was in the hallway outside the locker room with a fist out, offering a pound it to every guy, every player on their way back. It looks like the audio is not working. According to
No,
the
it's
chat.
working. You're fine. He just cut out for 1 second.
Cool. So Stan was there for whatever that's worth. David Adelman on playing the starters so much. I felt like those guys wanted to go back out there and play. I saw it in their eyes at halftime. I was not just going to sit the guys at halftime. That's not what we are doing here. did go on to say, it's a
doesn't
tough
seem like
loss,
they
but
can
it
hear
counts.
him.
I guess they can't hear you.
Can't hear him for some
All right.
reason.
I guess they can't hear you, Vogt. Maybe we'll
Let's
try you
take Vogt
again.
off and then bring it.
Are you there? Well, I mean, now we're gonna have to wait for the chat.
Oh,
We
Yeah,
can
that-
hear him.
Yeah, that's,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah, we can
guys
hear
can hear
you.
me? This is
yeah,
all right.
but we
cool.
don't know if they. Can. Just give us quick notes, or
Give,
just
give me 1 second.
can you
Give me 1 second.
pantomime
Give me 1
this?
second.
Why don't you act it out?
I can hear it fine. I don't know. I don't know what this guy was talking about. I pulled it up on my phone. It seems fine.
We can hear him. Yeah, we could hear him. Why did people make us think you couldn't hear him?
I don't know. This has been a night from hell.
right.
Apparently, they could hear you. Some people were lying.
Was that a coordinated prank?
It's a
got
coordinated
attacked.
takedown of
They are the
DNVR.
worst.
It's just the kind of day we're having here, fellas. Let's
Yeah,
keep
it
it
really
moving.
is, man.
So David Adelman said he was never going to sit them at halftime. The players didn't want to. This is not the first question, by the way. So as he says this quote, keep that in mind. It wasn't the first question, but he did go on to eventually say, as he did after Game 3 against the Clippers, it's a tough loss, but it counts as one. He did say, though, before he got to that part, he said, but I'm not going to do the 1-1 thing tonight. I'm not. We got punked out there. And when he said the most concerning thing about the loss, he said physicality. I thought the officiating was physical, and we joined the party late. You can't get punked for the first 6 minutes. Again, reminding me so much of that Clippers Game 3, obviously a slightly different scenario and an even worse loss.
Yeah.
And Adelman did say, yes, we have experience in it, but just because you've responded well before, that doesn't mean you're going to again. So what are you learning from Game 2? Go back, me, the players, everyone, take a look in the mirror and say, what can I do better? Spoke with Michael Porter. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say that David Adelman said you can tell the shoulder injury is affecting Michael Porter Jr.'s release on his shot right now, and now more than ever. I think more than round one, in my opinion, guys. He said it looks like it's getting to like 90%, and he just can't complete the release. And he says, obviously, he said, I think Mike's effort is good, but the rebounding is one-handed, and you need two-handed rebounding in this series. So obviously that is limiting him. He did say that's why I left him out there, though, for a little bit to see if he could find a rhythm, and hopefully it was good for Mike to see a few go down. Then spoke with Michael Porter Jr. in the locker room, who was asked about this. And he says, yeah, I mean, I chose to play, so it's not an excuse. He says, it's really limiting me. I really have to change the way I'm playing. There's only so many ways I can attack. When asked if he would think about, the lights just went off. This is unbelievable. When asked if he would think about resting, Porter said, it's do or die for our team, so I just do not feel the pull to try and rest it. I am definitely going to go out there and try every time. But he said, look, I understand. Like, sometimes guys are going to have to play for me more. Sometimes guys are going to close for me. I am comfortable with that. That's what we have to do. But I am going to go out there and try every time. Michael Porter Jr. said, since I've been a part of this team, though, we've done a great job of responding when something like this happens to us. I don't think anyone was more pissed in the locker room. This is a personal read, to be clear, but Christian Brown, man, was not a happy camper. And he was asked the same question about having experience in these spots and if he can draw on it, and he shook his head. And he said, I just think it's a pride thing. Forget the experience. It's pride. He didn't bring it in Game 2. Christian vowed to come out and be better on both sides in Game 3. I will say Christian is at my top of the list of, like, when he furrows his brows and tells you he's going to be better, I do tend to buy it. But we'll see. They got to walk that walk, and it has to translate. Aaron Gordon on the physicality allowed in Game 3, he says we have to come out with a better mindset, set the tone, but also understand that is what they are trying to do. They are trying to impose their will. We can't let them do that. Now, Gordon spent a few quotes swatting away the officiating stuff, saying it's not why we lost. You can't lean on that when you're down by 40. But when asked specifically about Jokic, Gordon spoke up and took up for number 15. He listed all kinds of things. He said they're grabbing him, they're bumping him, they're pulling him, all types of stuff they're doing to him that's not necessarily legal. And there's not really much you can do about it. Yoke will play through it, but they are fouling the guy. And he says they're calling the second foul every time. They're fouling Jokic first. Jokic responds, and they do that. Refs will catch that, but they are calling the second foul, and they are fouling Jokic first. So some very emphatic call from Gordon for a different whistle for Jokic. We'll see if there's a different whistle in Game 3. Aaron Gordon was also asked if the starters thought about resting at all. He shook his head. He said, I didn't think about that. And that's the full answer. So we've seen all types of locker room guys in the last 9 games from the Denver Nuggets. I don't think this was a defeated locker room. This was not a happy locker room. This was not a locker room that it's easy for me as an analyst to say they stole one and they're going back 1-1. That actually is how I feel. Like, this is a tough taste in your mouth. Their job was to come get one. They did, right? But Gordon and the team and David Adelman, that's not the note they're playing tonight. They are pissed. They don't like the way that went. They want to hold themselves accountable and come out better in game 3. And that's what I got for you. I think Yoke's going right now.
All right, there you go. Go down and talk to him and get home safe, buddy. You've had enough of Oklahoma City for this week. Quickly to get out of here now, because I want to save the fouls we'll do it on the pregame show for the next one, because I do think it's a big storyline. I just want to quickly say, there were 2 games in the association tonight. The Nuggets had the second worst loss.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't the worst loss than that.
It was not the worst loss. They got blown out. It was worse in terms of points.
Point differential.
But it's 1-1 in the series. Now you get to go back home. The Boston Celtics are down 2-0 to the Knicks, and they lost it in painful fashion.
Could be worse.
This exact same way the last game won.
Yeah, exact same way. Like, that is incredible, Dev.
They learned no lessons.
Nothing.
None at all. And it was the same people that shit the bed.
Yeah. By the way, then the Timberwolves, the Warriors now have Steph, who's out for at least a week, maybe longer than that, and yet the Warriors are up 1-0. That series also a bit of a surprise.
I know. You got to think Minnesota's going to win 3 straight games here. But I don't know, man. It's Minnesota. If you think the Nuggets are confusing, just talk to some Timberwolves fans. Because they'll say the exact same thing we've said about this team all year.
The NBA might be too random.
Right.
You know, like I think
everybody hates their team.
Yeah, everybody hates their team. Nobody feels great about it. The regular season doesn't match the playoffs.
Yeah.
One night when a foul is a technical, the other night it's not even a call. The NBA might be a little too...
Yeah, we're in like hyper rings culture where even the playoffs don't matter. It's only the ring.
Summer League?
So
I guess Summer League.
All right, how many Super Chats, Kale?
Like 22.
Let's
Really?
do Super Chats here.
Whoa, sicko time.
Upper Deck Aaron, your licks. You take your licks and you move on. 16 and 12.
That's right, baby.
I kind of... That's
I'm
the only
in.
thing I'm
I'm
clinging
so
to,
in,
16
dude.
to 12.
I'm so
It
in.
might literally just be 16 to 12.
Christian Barber, this game was officiated softer than shea butter on moisturized skin.
Ooh.
Hey, OKC, Gordon saw that last one. Home court advantage, back to ball. GGX
ball, baby.
gang, I knew the fix was in as soon as I saw the refs call that phantom charge call on Russ in the first half. Utter BS. That was a crazy call.
I mean, yeah, dude, the refs were just atrocious.
Shout out Russ, man. I think the Nuggets
Absolutely,
emotionally
man.
sometimes are up or down. Yeah, Westbrook is always up.
They would have lost this game by 60 if not for him. Michael Myers, pretty clear we were just happy to win 1 and clocked out. Adelman got massively outcoached too. This zone and DJ minutes need to go. Nugs and 6.
If he brings either of those back without adoption, I'll agree with you. This felt like a weird... I'm telling you, it felt like Adelman didn't want to play any adjustments tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Josh Burnett from Down Under. Wind, would you rather watch that game again or listen to 48 minutes of Ranchman leaving messages on the answering? We were saying we got to bring the answering machine
We got to
back.
bring it back, yeah.
Ranchman's a caller from the old Nuggets podcast days. The old days, man. OKC are still wankers. D's nuts. Roster is so fried that we got to play a one-armed MPJ rather than another player.
It's so true.
I love it. I just can't get enough. Like, just the whole thing where it's just like, man, we're the toughest. No, we can't do anything. It's like, we're fried. We got no players, no chance.
Even in the wins, though, that part has been like, how many guys actually
last
are
game,
there?
It was like,
we're going to win with only 6 guys.
They don't have any answers for us. Jokic can do whatever he wants. Now it's like, we don't have any depth. What are we doing?
Yeah. Nash, Sweden, Nuggets in 6. By the way, great shirt, D-line.
Yeah. Anytime I wear the Serbian thing,
people love it.
it.
Maddox, Scott Foster at OKC when OKC was perfect. Nugs in 6. Peter Duck felt before the game it would be an L, but damn. I hope everyone is effing pissed off and be ready to beat OKC down at home. We won't shoot that bad again.
It won't happen again.
Nolan, Scott Foster MVP. Glad Yoke got out of the game. He was getting mauled. Nothing he can do back. Christian Barber, by the way, Jokic didn't jump on old boy's back. The narrative is as it always has been. Let's give them something to smoke on next game. We did this to beat the TV ratings.
Yeah, we did it.
Flacco Watts. Last game I said it's easy to win in the white jerseys, sarcastically. The only 2 times they've won in white are AG last second game winners. So they can only barely win.
Hey, if you guys are watching this on a fast channel, head over to the internet. Check us out over there.
Shit.
I know. Boy, that game fucking sucked.
It did fucking suck. Peter Duck, send Dario out there for 6 hard-ass fouls, please. Flacco, but we split, and that's what matters. Next 4 games, no white jerseys, and 3 are at home. Nugs and 6 retire the white jerseys already. Christian, challenges can darn if you do, darn if you don't.
Okay.
Wilson the Ghost, Scott Foster versus 100 Gorillas, 4K HD. He'd give out a couple technicals.
Scott Foster truly sucks.
Toko Geta, Jokic definitely fouled out on purpose, not only to force DA to throw the towel in, but also to subconsciously get into the next officiating crew's heads.
Galaxy brain, let's go.
They're going to give him Mark Davis, probably. Hey, do we like Mark Davis now?
I guess.
Big Namek, Thunder and Scott Foster can have this one, Nugs and 5.
Let's go.
5-5-5-5-5-ish. We are shockingly almost halfway
Let's go.
to 55 Zeke playoff minutes.
Wow.
Victory.
We were trying to think of silver linings. Tough loss, but losing by 40 only counts as 1 loss.
That's right,
Going back
exactly,
home 1-1 is still good.
exactly.
How many minutes? So did Zeke play 20 minutes? 15 minutes?
You put like
must have
10
been.
today.
He played
13. 13.
The entire,
13.
yeah, he played the
But
entire fourth
apparently
quarter.
he's almost halfway there. Christoph, eyes are hurting from squinting. Linings are brown.
Yeah, he's squinting too hard to see silver linings, and all the linings are brown.
Haley Keel, Coach Dag Nault, more like Coach Doug Nuts.
Dog
Nuts. Thanks for making the watching experience tolerable. Love you guys.
Love you too, Haley. Miss you.
Marlon Spencer Jones should learn that Batum no dip shot. I think that'd be a good thing for him to pick up. Genuinely nice people. It's just a flesh wound.
It's not even a flesh wound.
It's
It's
just a flesh wound.
it's a
Flesh
sunburn.
wound.
It's a
Sunburn.
sunburn.
I think.
Cade Nicole would be nice to see Zeke get 5 of MPJ's minutes playing with Aaron. They need his size and physicality. Only Russ, Peyton, and Zeke are fast enough to keep with OKC. At least Malone played Zeke.
Yeah, no more DeAndre Jordan.
I
think
will.
it's
Yeah,
that.
I will say like they might need somebody else just to play a couple minutes.
Possible.
Kyle M. Hey, D-line.
Hey, what up?
Congrats on that.
That's a
Hey,
D-line.
victory.
That was a D-line one right there.
That one made sense, Kyle.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be so sick getting paid $40 million a year to do your job once every 2 weeks.
Hey, let it out. Let it out.
Just
That's
let
fine.
it go.
Just let it out. That's
Let
what
it
we're
out.
here for. All right, everybody. Let's flush this one. Let's all go home. Let's go to bed. We'll see you tomorrow.
Can I tell you guys?
What?
Don't listen to the pods.